Alright, let's hope it works. There we go. Finally. Jeez.
Mineral field depleted.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough. Not enough. Not enough minerals.
Huh?
This better be good.
Your forces are under attack.
Go, go, go!
Not enough energy. Add-on complete.
Yes, sir. Coming.
Not enough minerals.
It's go time. You gonna give me? You want a piece?
Mineral field depleted.
This better be good. Who wants some?
Something in the way.
Mineral
I
field
can't build here.
upgrade.
Big job. Something in the way. Who wants? Armed?
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Add-on complete. Mineral field depleted. Not enough minerals.
Bad news. Armed and ready.
Exhausted. Not enough minerals.
Want a piece of me, boy?
Not enough energy.
Gangway.
Mineral field depleted.
Boom, baby. Right.
Add-on
Here with the
complete.
gear. Want some? Go, go, go.
Not enough minerals. Not enough. Your forces are not enough minerals.
This better be good. It's about to get heavy.
Not enough minerals. Additional supply depots required. Unacceptable command. We are upgrade complete. Not enough energy. Your forces are under attack.
You gonna give me orders?
Wow. Jeez. Like I was saying, I kind of figured I was in a really good spot, but that was a lot of work to finish that off. I mean, a lot of work to get to a relatively quick ending. Alright, so that's 3-0 now. Alright, this one... Okay, I'm just going to save this right now. So I remember that this is the... this is the game that we completed. This is the incomplete game. Okay. Alright. On to the next one. That was Odyssey, so now we go back to Abyssal Reef. I was expecting an all-in that game. He went with a really heavy Ling pressure. Certainly wasn't all-in. One of these games, I am expecting him to go all-in for sure. And yeah, Jiggy, I did change servers to the New York server instead of San Francisco. I don't know why I was on San Francisco in the first place. That's on the other side of the country from me, and New York is close. So thanks a lot for that, man. Appreciate it.
SCV ready. Go ahead.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready. Huh? In the rear.
So I'm going gas first, but it's actually a little bit late.
Not enough minerals. Not enough.
Oh, San Francisco's the standard one?
Not enough minerals.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, San Francisco's far away from me. Really, really far. And New York is a 5.5-hour drive. So that's actually really close. For this great big country of ours.
SCV ready.
San Francisco is about a 4.5 to 5-hour flight. And I just got a lag spike there. Hopefully that is an aberration.
SCV ready. Go ahead. Well, butter my biscuit. SCV ready.
I'm going to try something a tiny bit different this game.
In the rear.
Same build, but I'm going to try to drop in a different location. We'll see how it goes.
Huh? You're the boss.
Not enough minerals. Command center upgrade. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Ah! You scared me.
Not enough minerals.
Big job.
Not enough minerals.
Move it.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Ah! You scared me. Bad news. In the rear.
Okay, he is still fully mining gas again.
Going on? Huh? SCV ready.
Agreed. Yes, indeed. On the way. Certainly. All right. Done. That's all.
SCV ready.
Add-on complete.
Go ahead.
I'm going to be safe, and once again, I will get a bunker.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
So I'm really expecting an all-in
Minerals.
one of these
Not
times.
enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
So this is delaying my starport.
Command center upgrade complete.
What? You want something?
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
This better be good. Nothing I can't handle. Huh? Fear the Reaper, man.
SCV ready.
Got something for me to kill?
He's adding additional gases right now. Okay.
Here.
Something is up.
From above.
Double Evo.
SCV scared me.
Add-on complete.
Huh? SCV ready.
Additional supply.
SCV ready. Who wants some? Go ahead. SCV ready.
dust off.
SCV ready.
Loud and
SCV
clear.
ready.
Go, go, go!
SCV ready.
Gangway! Coming.
Add research complete.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
Armed and ready.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
Well,
SCV ready.
hallelujah.
Not enough minerals.
Whoa, how did he see that?
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Take it.
By the numbers, boy. You want a piece of me, boy?
Life flight's here.
Gangway! Coming through.
Yeah. I can't build here. SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
Who wants some?
SCV ready. Big jump.
Not enough.
SCV ready.
By the big weight.
SCV ready.
Research.
Armed and ready.
That's the negatory. It's locked. SCV ready.
Ready for dust off.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Command center upgrade complete. Not enough minerals.
Gotcha.
This better be.
Not enough minerals. Not enough
Want
minerals.
a piece of me, boy? Gangway! Coming through.
Unacceptable landing zone.
Huh?
Not enough minerals.
I can't build here.
Go, go, go!
Not enough minerals.
Yeah. In the rear with the
Add-on complete.
SCV ready.
It's go. Who wants some?
Not enough minerals. Not enough
Want a
minerals.
piece of me, boy?
Not enough minerals.
Ready for dust off.
This better be good.
Acknowledged.
SCV ready.
Oh, he has burrow already.
Additional supply depots required.
You gonna
What's going on?
So I have to be really, really careful.
go, go, go!
Not enough minerals.
In the rear with the gear.
Been waiting. Gangway! Coming through.
Big job, huh?
You want it?
Not enough minerals. Upgrade complete. Not enough minerals.
You gonna get by the numbers. Heavy.
And guess who forgot their armory?
Not enough minerals.
That is brutal.
Ready for dust off.
Not enough minerals.
This better be good, boy.
Not enough minerals.
Let's have a blast.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Bad news.
Not enough minerals.
And the ring. Let's go.
Gangway, coming through.
Not enough minerals. Add on. Not enough. Not enough.
SCV ready.
It's go time.
Not enough minerals.
This better be
Not enough minerals. 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 Not enough minerals.
been waiting on.
Oh, it's on.
Armed.
Not enough minerals.
Who wants some? You can. Gangway.
Add-on complete.
Liberation is at hand. Reporting.
This better be good.
Not enough minerals.
Kaboom, baby.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Mineral field depleted. Not enough minerals. Mineral field
All hands to battle stations.
mineral field depleted. Not enough minerals.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Not enough minerals. Not enough mineral field depleted. Not enough.
Get heavy.
We're returning fire.
Not enough. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
This better be good.
Not enough minerals.
Oh, it's on.
Gangway, coming.
Not enough minerals. Not enough
Want a piece
minerals.
of me, boy?
Mineral field depleted.
It's go time. Armed.
You gonna get.
In the rear. Bad news. Big job. What's going on?
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
This better be good.
Light.
Let's
Where's the
have a
emergency?
blast.
Mineral field depleted.
Who wants some?
Inbound.
Upgrade complete. Not enough minerals. Upgrade. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Waiting on you.
Not enough minerals.
Oh, it's on.
Not enough.
Somebody, get me out of this mess.
Not enough minerals. Not enough. Mineral field depleted.
Somebody, get me out of this mess.
Not enough minerals. Mineral field. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
And
You want a piece of me?
Not enough minerals.
Oh, yeah. Armed.
Not enough. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough.
Go, go, go. Armed and ready.
Let's have a blast.
Mineral field depleted.
Gangway, coming through.
It's go time. It's about to get heavy.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Your forces not enough are under attack. Not enough minerals. Mineral field depleted.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Command center upgrade complete. Mineral field depleted. Unacceptable landing zone. Mineral field. Not enough minerals. Your forces are under attack. Not enough minerals.
Armed and ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Unacceptable. Unacceptable command.
Ready for
Unacceptable command. Mineral field depleted. Upgrade complete.
By the numbers, big wiggle.
Not enough minerals. Not enough. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough energy.
What's going on? By the this better be good.
Your forces are under attack. Not enough. Not enough. Not enough minerals.
Ready to plunder.
Not enough minerals.
Ready to plunder.
Kaboom, baby! Let's have a blast!
Bad news? You want a piece of me, boy?
Not enough energy. Not enough minerals.
It's about to get heavy!
Not enough minerals.
You gonna get waiting on you.
Not enough minerals.
Ready for dust off.
I'm going. Go ahead. Ready to plunder.
Boy is here!
This better be.
Not enough minerals.
Go, go, go!
Not enough minerals.
Game wet.
Not enough minerals.
By the this better be good. Been waiting. You want a piece of me, boy?
Ready for dust off.
Want some?
Ready for dust off.
Game wet. You gonna give me orders? You want a piece of me, boy?
Dropping off.
Who wants some? Go ahead. Gangway. Come on. Boy is here.
Unacceptable command.
Go, go, go!
Ready.
Unacceptable command.
Ready for dust off.
Unacceptable command. Mineral field depleted. Unacceptable command. We are affecting. Not enough energy. Unacceptable. Not enough energy.
Armed and ready.
Not enough energy. Mineral field depleted.
Now what?
Geyser exhausted.
Armed and ready.
Our SCVs are under attack.
What's going on?
Not enough minerals. Not enough.
Ready to plunder. You gonna give me orders? Armed and ready.
Not enough minerals.
Let's have a blast!
Why? By the number. Maybe wait. This better be good. I feel you.
Kaboom, baby!
You want a
Not enough minerals.
well, butter my biscuit.
It's go time!
This better be good.
Let's have a blast!
Gangway. Coming through.
Not enough energy. Unacceptable command. We are at maximum supply.
Can't hold them alone.
Mineral field depleted. Not enough energy.
We could use some help.
Not enough energy.
Pick it up. Jeez, pick it up.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Mineral field completed. Not enough minerals. Not enough images. Not enough minerals. Not enough images. Mineral field. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
That's the biggest joke in the game, without a doubt. Sorry. That is the biggest joke in the game. Marauders Marauders aren't very good, but I need more meat. I need more meat other than just Marines. There's nothing I can do against the composition. Once he gets there, whatever. Yeah, you can't really go down the mech path if you're already playing bio. Like I tried to mix in Thor's, but I don't know, whatever. I know I'm being bitter right now, but I just can't get over how stupid it is. And I addressed this in my response post to the balance update. Was like 25 or was it 35, 25 or 35 upvotes on the battle.net forums, which is usually pretty hard to get people to agree with anything there. And I made a thread a few months ago stating the exact same problems with burrowed fungal. It's not that you can't see the infestors. That has nothing to do with the problem. The problem is that you need detection, which is actually different from seeing the infestors. The Blizzard doesn't seem to understand that. The problem isn't that I don't know they're there. I know they're there. Like in that entire game. Or I shouldn't say the entire game, but once they came out in that game, I know they're there. Like, that's not the problem. It's not like, oh, now that I know they're there, now I can beat them. No, I have to scan every single time that I want to engage. I made Ravens in that game. But what good did it do me? There are corruptors out. Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah, I think you said that like right as I was saying it. There are corruptors, so there just isn't anything that you can do. It's a joke. I'm sorry for being so bitter, but I think it's just the most ridiculous thing that is in the game. I don't know how it ever made it in the game. The Zergs that I talk to agree it's pretty ridiculous. And I said a million times, absorb the pathogen glands upgrade into the infestor. Give it increased starting energy. I don't care. Like, buff the infestor. Make it more viable. I always wanted it to be more viable anyway, without being completely overpowered like Wings of Liberty. But buff it. I don't care. Just don't allow fungal to be cast while burrowed. But whatever. I mean, not much I can say about it. Yeah, you can. So you can EMP them. Don't get me wrong, you can. But the problem with that, the biggest problem, is that like they're gonna have army in front of the infestor. So it makes it really hard to get your ghosts in there. So like in that game, for example, he has broodlings from his broodlords. So that's problem number one. You know, he has the so-called free units in my face. So they'll hit the ghosts. They'll push the ghosts back. And then not to mention just fast units like Lings and Banelings. So it makes it hard. I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but it's really hard to get an EMP off on the infestors. And again, you're trying to get that EMP off just to reduce the power of one unit, while that one unit has the ability to damage and lock down your entire army. So that's what the issue is. And if I can dodge it, that's fine. That's why I don't have a problem with Fungal itself. There's nothing wrong with it. Like I can see the infestor coming, I can see the Fungal coming, I can try to out micro it and dodge it. Great. Like I can try to use some skill to avoid it, but when it's burrowed, it's just terrible design. Nothing I can do though. Nothing I can do about it now. Just complain, which I am doing. Alright, time to stop complaining, time to get into this game. And I'm going to have to play this one with a vengeance for sure. That last game really bothered me because I thought I played pretty well for the most part. Killed a lot of bases. Sniped a lot of tech. I killed the spawning pool, I think it was like 4 times. But wasn't able to convert to a win, so.
In the rear with the gear. Ah! You scared me. SCV ready. Huh? Go ahead.
It shouldn't damage units if they want to burn. So, I agree with that, but I also kind of disagree just in that I think that it just shouldn't be able to be cast while bird, because any ability that locks down a whole army, it's so powerful. It's one of the most powerful abilities in the game. I don't mean in terms of damage, I just mean in terms of what it can do to the opponent. I just don't think that something that powerful should be able to be cast while bird. Something like Widow Mines, number one Widow Mine is never going to take out an entire army. But number two, Widow Mines have flaws in that they can be used against you. There's no way I can use Fungal against the Zerg. And I'm not saying I should be able, because I shouldn't. But I'm just saying there's no drawback to it. There's no possible way for me to abuse Fungal.
Command center upgrade complete.
Ah! You scared me. Huh?
The Grim Reaper has arrived.
Ah! You scared
Not
me.
enough minerals.
Alright, time for me to start trying to focus on this game here.
Minerals.
Yo. Go ahead. In the rear. What's going on? Well, Buck.
Got something from
Not enough minerals.
what's it worth? Yes, indeed. Nothing I can't. I'm
Add on.
listening.
SCV ready. Huh?
What? You want something?
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
This better be good. SCV ready.
Command center. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Ready to raise some hell. Ready to raise some hell. SCV ready. In the
Add
rear
on.
with the gear. SCV ready.
enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Ready to raid some.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Ready to
Base is under not enough minerals.
bad news. Huh? Ah, you scared me.
Our SCVs are under attack.
Talk to me, boss. What's going on? Ready. Big job. Are you? SCV ready. Gear. Bad news. This better be. SCV ready.
Engine screaming.
Go ahead. What's going on? Been waiting on you. Big job, huh? Ready to raise some hell.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready. Big job, huh? SCV ready. Light it up. SCV ready. Right on. Ready to raise some hell.
Base is under attack. Research under attack.
Huh? SCV ready. Orders. Who wants some?
Our SCVs are under attack. Mineral field depleted.
Okay.
I can't build here. What's going on? You gonna do that? SCV ready. Who wants some? Bad news?
Not enough energy.
SCV ready. I can't build here.
Shoot.
Add-on complete.
Big job. Armed and. This better be good. Been waiting on you. I'm waiting on you.
Engine screaming.
Ready to raid? SCV ready. SCV ready. Huh? Yep. SCV ready. SCV ready. Done and
Receiving.
I hear you. In motion. SCV ready. Ready to work. SCV ready.
Mayday. Mayday.
Who wants some? SCV ready. This better be good. SCV ready. Talk to me, boss. Been waiting. Let's go. What's going on? SCV ready.
I really butchered this game.
SCV ready. Just don't leave. SCV ready. SCV ready.
Our SCVs are under attack. Is under attack. Our SCVs are under attack.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
Add-on complete.
In the read.
Not enough energy.
SCV ready. SCV ready. Huh? Go ahead.
Command center upgrade complete.
SCV ready. Transformation
Mineral field depleted.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
Add-on complete. Research.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
Wouldn't surprise me if he's going for a Mutalisk transition.
Not enough minerals.
Let's get in. SCV ready. SCV ready.
So I'm gonna preemptively prepare for it.
Not
Ready for dust off.
You ready for war? Armed. SCV ready.
mineral field depleted.
job, huh?
Research complete. Not enough minerals.
I can't build it here.
Does have lair.
Complete.
Gangway, coming through.
Not enough minerals.
Ready for dust off.
Not enough minerals.
Ah! You scared me.
Not enough minerals. Additional mineral field depleted. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Unacceptable landing zone.
What's up?
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Upgrade complete.
Acknowledged.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Add-on. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Talk to me.
SCV ready. Yes, indeed. It's about
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
armed and ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
This better be good. Oh, it's on. Gangway, coming. What's up?
Picking up or dropping off.
Upgrade complete.
Go, go, go.
Ready for dust off.
Not enough. Upgrade complete.
Gangway, coming through. It's go time.
Dropping
Want a
off.
piece of me, boy?
Not enough minerals.
Ready for dust off.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
What's up? Go, go, go. We can use some help here. This better be good. What's going on? Got you gonna get armed and ready.
Not enough. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
We could use some help here.
Additional supply depots required.
Ready.
Additional supply depots.
It's go time. Go, go, go.
Not enough minerals.
That's fine. I'm on it. This better be good.
Let's go.
Additional supply. Not enough minerals.
What's going on? I can't build here.
Picking up or dropping off.
Upgrade complete. Mineral field depleted.
Will do, Command.
Additional.
Somebody, get me out of this mess.
You want a piece of me, boy? You gonna give me orders? Want some?
Dropping off.
Let's have a blast. Big bad news?
Mineral field depleted. Not enough
This
minerals.
better be good. Got a hole.
Not enough minerals.
Speak up.
Additional supply depots.
No, stop tabbing me out! Are you serious?
Kaboom, baby. Been wounded by the...
Where's the emergency?
I'm in a world of hurt. Armed and ready. Go ahead.
Our SCVs Vespine Gaza exhausted. Mineral field depleted.
Gangway, coming through.
Our SCVs under attack. Mineral field depleted. Not enough minerals. Base not enough attack.
We could use some help here. Armed and... I'm in deep.
Base is under attack. Base is under attack.
Armed who was?
SCVs are
Somebody,
under
get me out of
attack.
this mess.
Sure. Roger that. Oh, yeah.
Picking up or dropping off?
Been waiting on you. Gangway. Coming.
Base is under attack.
We could use some help here.
Base is under attack.
You gonna give me yours?
Now what?
Armed by the numbers, boys.
Where's the emergency?
Been waiting.
Are you serious?
Talk to me.
Zerg doesn't get punished for weird drops like that. Yeah. Yeah, he can open up with that, and it's not really much of an investment. That was a good game. So it's 3-2 me right now. This is what, game 6? Roach Hydra is really, really strong.
Huh? Ah! This bad news? What's going on? Big job, huh? Move it! Go ahead. Well, butter in the rear with the gear. Big job, huh? Bad news? Go ahead. Huh? Ah! You scared me! What's going on? Ah! I can't build here. Woohoo! Overtime, huh?
Not enough minerals. 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 Not enough minerals.
Here's to hoping this doesn't get scouted, right? Yeah,
Not enough
that is pretty
minerals.
true.
Not enough minerals.
Pretty darn true, Oz1. Oz1. I might just call you Oz. Is that okay? Should be a lot shorter for me.
In the rear with bad news.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready. What's going on? Go ahead.
Not enough minerals.
Big job, huh? Go ahead.
Not enough minerals.
Huh?
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Well, bad news.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
The Grim Reaper has arrived.
Not enough minerals.
Death from above. The Grim.
Not enough minerals.
What's it worth? Fear the Reaper, man. Let's. Got some.
Not enough minerals.
Huh? What? You want something? The Grim Reaper has arrived. What's it got? Death from above.
Not enough minerals.
I'm listening. The Grim Reaper has arrived.
Not enough minerals.
What's it got? What? You want some? Huh? Death from big job. What's it worth? I'm going. I'm fear the Reaper. Got
Not enough minerals.
the Grim Reaper has arrived. Done. Got something. I'm listening.
Not enough minerals.
Here. Death from above.
Additional supply depots required.
Yeah, baby. What's it worth? Fear the Reaper, man.
That's game. I just totally fucked that. Sorry for language.
Got something. Huh?
Was making a supply depot. Ask me if it was worth it.
Got something from Death from the Grim Reaper has arrived.
Alright. Son of a bitch, man. Went back to make a supply depot. Like, how stupid can you be? I deserve to lose that. Nice drone surround. I deserve to lose if I do that. So, whatever. I really need to get it together here. Started out 3-0. Now we're even at 3-3. Two really, really close games. Could have gone either way. One of them was burrowed fungal, so I mean that's bullshit straight up. There's nothing else to say about it. I wish I could say like, oh, if I would have done this or that, but no. I mean the fact of the matter is I was ahead.
Not enough minerals.
Killed his bases a bunch of times. Sniped a lot of tech, but didn't do quite enough. He got out infestors with burrow and fungal. And bought some time, got out a few broodlords, and we all know the rest. Then in the Roach Hydra game, he hit had some good drops, lots of pressure, forced me into making mistakes. I did some not great counter damage with my Hellbat Banshee. I killed some queens, and that was pretty much it. Kind of came back into the game, was able to force a base trade. Did pretty well to hold on for a while, but eventually let it, or I guess I should say just kind of got overwhelmed by the Roach Hydra in the end. But, alright, let's go. Time to get down to business here.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Bad news?
Not enough command center upgrade. Not enough minerals.
Go ahead.
Oh, I saw that.
Bad news? The Grim Reaper has arrived. In the rear with the gear.
Not enough minerals.
So you went pool first.
Minerals are under attack.
Huh? What's going on? Ah! You scared me! Go ahead. What? You want something? I'm listening. SCV ready. That's all? Huh? Got stuff. Ah! You scared
Not
me!
enough minerals. Not enough
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
Fair enough. Big job, huh?
Not enough minerals. Not enough. Not enough minerals. Not enough add-ons complete. Not enough minerals.
You want a piece of me, boy?
In the rear with the gear. SCV.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
All right. Death from above. Who wants some?
Not enough minerals.
Go ahead. What's going? This better be good. Ready?
Not enough minerals.
Ah! You scared me.
Not enough energy.
Yep.
Command center upgrade. Not enough minerals.
Anyway, coming through. You gonna give me orders?
SCV ready. In the rear with the gear ready. Who wants some?
Add-on complete.
SCV ready.
You want a piece
enough minerals. Add-on complete. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
Armed and ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Ready.
This better be. SCV ready.
Additional supply depots required.
Ready for pickup?
Gangway. SCV ready.
Research complete.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Drop.
Want a piece of me, boy?
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
Armed and ready. Gangway.
There we go. So he was going for the... normally I'd say 3 roach rush. I think he actually made 4 or 5, but you just go light on the roaches and you rush. I'm actually quite practiced against this build because my cousin does it all the time. So I knew what to look out for. But like I said, yeah, fortunately I knew what to look out for on that build. So I knew I'd be safe to push across after pushing the initial roaches away. Plus my Reaper got a great, or I'm sorry, my SCV got a great scout off. Saw the 2 lings coming at me.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
And also saw the roach warren. I actually didn't click on it, so I didn't know if it was a roach warren or a baneling nest. But either way, I knew I'd have to throw it on a bunker, so that's what I did.
Let's go. SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
What's in the rear?
He didn't get the worker making the CC. Yeah.
Additional supply depots required.
Yeah, he could have bailed once he saw me making the bunker. He was already invested in the roach warren, so I understand why he wanted to make a few and try to scare me, because that's the idea. The idea behind the build is to scare the Terran into over-defending,
SCV ready.
and then you macro behind.
Bad news. SCV ready. Big job.
But I got a really early scout off, and was able to kill actually quite a few of his roaches. So
SCV ready.
felt pretty confident to push across and do some serious damage.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
What's going on?
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Go ahead. In the rear with the gear. Will do.
Not enough minerals. Command center upgrade. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Yes, sir. The Grim Reaper has arrived.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Our SCVs are under attack.
Yo. What? You want something?
Not enough minerals.
We here.
Not enough minerals.
Certainly. Fair enough. Death from above. All right. SCV ready. Where? SCV ready. In the rear.
Alright, I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to throw down this bunker.
Not enough
I'm
minerals.
going to do it after.
SCV ready.
Add-on complete. Not enough minerals.
Temple. Big job. SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Command center upgrade complete. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Coming through.
Not enough minerals.
Yeah.
Not enough minerals.
Who wants some? Go, go. SCV ready. You want a piece of me, boy?
Not enough minerals. Add-on complete. Not enough energy. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
This better be good. Fine. Been waiting.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Not enough.
SCV ready. Huh? Go, go, go. SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
Ready to raise some hell.
Additional supply.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough energy. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready. Ready to blunder. Been waiting on. You want a piece of me, boy? SCV ready.
Research complete.
Huh?
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready. Bad news. Armed and ready. SCV ready. This better be good.
Ready for dust.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready. SCV ready. Who wants some? No one. Been waiting. Ready to raise some hell. You can. Who wants some? Can't hold them alone. Gangway. SCV ready. Armed. This better be good.
Not enough minerals.
Fast enough. SCV ready. You can. Armed. This better be
Ready.
good. SCV ready. SCV ready. Ready to raise the band.
Research complete.
We could use some help. SCV ready. SCV ready. Want some?
Ready.
Been waiting on you. Ah! You scared? This better be good. Go ahead.
Not going to die to sudden mutas, I swear.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Huh? What's going on? Bad news. In the rear with the gear. SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough
SCV ready. Yo,
add-on complete.
this better be good.
Add-on. Not enough. Unacceptable landing zone. Not enough minerals.
You want a piece?
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Go ahead.
Unacceptable landing. Not enough minerals.
Okay, I'm glad to get the burrow reveal now.
Gangway, coming through.
Not enough minerals. Add-on complete. Not enough minerals.
I hear you. Now what?
This better be good. Ben, huh?
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough.
Want some?
Not enough minerals.
Inbound.
SCV ready. Kaboom, baby. This better be good.
Not enough minerals.
Dropping off.
Bad news. Ben,
Mineral field depleted. Not enough minerals.
Somebody, get me out of this mess.
want some?
Mineral field.
Go, go, go.
Not enough minerals. Upgrade complete. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready. Roger that. By the gangway, coming through.
Drop.
Be in the rear with. Ah! Here!
Not enough minerals.
Want some?
Not enough minerals.
Been waiting on you. Go, go, go! Armed and ready. You gonna get
Mineral field depleted.
this? Better be good. What's going on? I can't build it.
Not enough minerals.
Bad news? You want a piece of me, boy?
Talk to me.
It's about to get heavy.
Life flight clear.
Coming through. Armed and ready.
Additional supply depots required. Additional supply.
It's about to get heavy.
Ready for pick.
By the number.
Additional supply depots required.
Gangway. Coming through.
Not enough minerals. Additional supply depots required. Additional supply depots required. Not enough minerals.
We could use some help here.
Not enough.
Want some? By the number.
Now what?
Upgrade complete.
We could use some help here. I can't build here. This better be by the number. Gangway is coming through. Armed and ready. Want some? Been waiting on you.
Add-on complete.
Got any
Not enough minerals. Add-on complete. Additional upgrade complete.
Been waiting.
Mineral field depleted. Mineral field depleted.
Go, go, go!
Not enough minerals.
Ready.
Not enough.
We could use some help here. It's go time. Gangway. Coming. We could use
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Mineral field. Not enough minerals.
armed and ready.
Not enough minerals.
Oh, it's on.
Not enough minerals. Mineral field.
All right, GG. There we go. What's up, Cyrax? How you doing, bro? Thanks for stopping by. That was a really good series, a really close series. Oh man, took a lot out of me. I played a lot today, streamed a lot today, casted a lot today. My head is kind of spinning right now. So, all in the quest to hit Grandmaster. Hopefully within a year. That's the goal. Ugh.